There's an old Indian fable about a group of blind mice that discover something new that is moving in the pond where they drink and bathe. Concerned about this something, the mice surround it and go on to touch it, and then the group get together to try and figure out what it is. "It's a group of sturdy pillars," says the first one. No, it's a slippery rope," answers the second one. "You're both wrong. It's a big palm tree leaf," says the third. No, it's a fat snake," chimes in the fourth. "You're all wrong. It's a spear," protests the fifth. Finally, the eldest mouse says, "You're all right and you're all wrong. I've walked all over this something and can tell you that it's an elephant." Now, what does the story have to do with us? Why is it relevant? In a very simple way, it shows us that based on our experience and on what we perceive, we can arrive at very different conclusions over the same phenomenon. Don't forget this when you use frameworks. Frameworks help us make sense of the different things we perceive and encounter in the world, but at the cost of also narrowing what we perceive, how we perceive it, and the meaning that we attach to it. So having this in mind, let's move on to the Green Utility Framework. The intent of this framework is to support water professionals in classifying and sorting activities that water service providers can engage in to become greener, that is, more environmentally conscious and sustainable. The first dimension recognizes that current practices can already be green if we consider them under a different light. Here is where you will most likely find your quick wins. For example, non-revenue water, that is, water lost in the process between extraction and final delivery, is usually thought of in terms of operational and financial efficiency. However, under a green framework, you can also consider it to be an environmental measure for source protection. The less water lost in the process, the less water I need to extract from the source. Thus, the more water that remains available for the environment. The second dimension arises from a common call set forth by the urban water management paradigms. Water service providers need to engage with other organizations and sectors to find synergies and efficiencies. This dimension reminds us to look not only within the organization, but also at the key actors outside of it, that we can involve to innovate and find win-win solutions. Take, for example, the case of Vitens in the Netherlands, the largest water utility of the country. Here, their engagement with farmers in their areas of operation has yielded better protection of groundwater through supporting cleaner farming practices and providing financial support to farmers during droughts. The third and last dimension brings attention to key decision-making moments where considerable time, human, technical, or financial resources are to be invested to ensure that the advantages of greener options are actively considered. Examples of this dimension include the incorporation of decentralized fit-for-purpose solutions, implementing alternative energy sources, and large infrastructural projects, particularly those that can benefit from green-gray combination. So, altogether, the Green Utility Framework provides us with a structure with which we can look at current and potential approaches to make our water service providers greener, that is, more environmentally conscious, sustainable, and resilient. But don't forget, though, that much like the mice and the elephant, this is but one of many frameworks, and thus shows us some things while possibly concealing others. Use it like any other framework, consciously, humbly, and with care. Good luck as you begin to explore and choose your potential approaches.